Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news and introduce you to the pioneers and the founders of the Web3 space. Today, I'm very kindly joined by a good friend of mine, Nick, who is the founder of Assisterr. Nick, thank you for joining us today. Please say hello to our community.
Hi, everyone. I'm pleased to join you. I would love to share what we are doing on our side with such amazing and big and great communities that you are building and organized around your show.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. So let's get straight into it. I think if we could hear a little bit of your background, what led you, before Web3, what led you to the position you are in now, and what led you to Web3?
Yeah, of course. So I started in consulting business as a product manager, and I was focused mostly on kind of edge projects in IoT and AI space. And in 2017, I actually switched. So I look pretty young, but I'm 32 at this moment of time. And it's 2017 is this like first bull run for me. I switched fully to Web3 space. I was managing in several projects since 2017 till 2020 on several different blockchains. So it was Polkadot, it was Solana, it was Near, Ethereum, of course. And then in 2020, I switched back to, let's say, building product as a startup founder. I co-founded the company that was automating sales function and also automating design function for small, medium businesses. So we were saving a lot of time by putting AI automation into place. And it was like kind of several years before this like LLM boom happens and so on. But then back in 2022, I'm originally from Ukraine. So the war happened in Ukraine. One of my co-founders was from Russia, and we just split it apart. And I started thinking like, okay, what can I do? Like I have AI expertise, I have Web3 expertise. And I got offered to join as a head of ecosystem growth on one of the protocol built on top of the Near. We raised 4.3 million actually dollars, and I was responsible for ecosystem growth, for onboarding developers, and being there, helping developers to get on board. I found that there is so many inefficiency in this space. So it's like most of developer support, developer onboarding, documentation. It's like very manual work. While my experience with AI automation shows me and gives me ideas like, okay, it can be automated at least on a 50% or at least like 40%. So having this in mind, I start thinking like, okay, what can I do? And that's where we end up with Assisterr as initial idea of automating DevRel support for developer community and developer facing organizations.
Amazing. So you've truly been with AI since 2017. You mentioned there, so you must have seen a lot of development go through. How has it been staying on top of the development of AI since 2017?
Yeah, like in 2017, it doesn't look as like fancy and as cool as it is now. So at that period of time, we had this like attention, what you need paper, and other cool things that happen in this space, but still practical use cases was too far away and not as obvious for a broad audience. So let's say even OpenAI API, it was also accessible since 2021, if I'm right. But no one cares about it, because like for average person, like, okay, there is some API, like I can get access to like a better access to small and to large language model from OpenAI, but like what can I do? And no one actually understand what to do. But then OpenAI, just for showcasing the technology, brings this ChatGPT into space, and everyone was like, wow, it's so cool. Like it can, like create poems, it can write some articles, it can create some social posts on my behalf, like, so for average person in 2017, it was super far away from what we just see and what we observe in the space at this moment of time. Still, it's very interesting journey because right now I see how like both worlds can be beneficially create synergy between them. Because where we end up with AI progress is that we have a huge risk of either AI monopolization by governments or big tech companies, or either by and there is a big problem with bias. So the model is not clear what type of data it's trained on, why it's giving you this response. So you cannot you just basically do not know, is it, wouldn't we have another Google that knows everything about you and just changing your opinion constantly? So kind of a corporation of evil. And to manage this risk, there is great use case for Web3, for blockchain technology, because we can, with the blockchain, we can trace where this data came from, who injected this data. And if there is some problem, and like, I don't know, 1 year or 1 month later after we feed this data to some model, we can trace and track who was that person, who validated this data, and like what is the expected outcome of this action for the community. So it's like a huge thing, and yeah, I'm happy to be with Assisterr, with our current company in this space at this time and building what we are building.
Amazing. And you mentioned some of the giants there. You mentioned OpenAI, who at the start, as the name says, open. However, has gone more centralized as it's gone on. What are some of the issues with centralized AI?
Yeah, so with centralized AI, there is a huge gap actually for any of our listeners, for me, for you. It's also not only like ideological or not only behavioral trait for us, but also there is a gap into aligning of incentives. So for me, for you, for anyone else, there is no option how we can contribute our expertise, knowledge, experience, any data to the AI, big large language models, and get some portion of rewards. So basically, all these guys, big corporations, they just scrap the internet, scrap the public data that belongs to the humanity, and after that, they're saying like, "Hey, $20 per month from you." So it's like that's what's happening. So by seeing this, we understand that we can create and we can fill this gap with community-owned models where. And that's what we're building with Assisterr. So the idea is that you don't need large language model to succeed with your specific business use case. You need very good and very good train with very amazing data pipeline, small language model that would be trained on your data, and then it would be executed specific task for you. What I'm talking about, so let's imagine you have a problem with your teeth. You're not going to any person who you met on the street and saying like, oh, you have two hands, 10 fingers, you can fix my teeth. No, you are looking for specific dentist who was trained to do this specific task for you. Same logic is for
the same.
Yeah, and same with small language model. Like you don't need to go to large language model, train on all the intelligence because it's too expensive, it's not efficient. Retrain this model, it takes time and money. And instead of this, you can rely on small language model, fix or solve your business problem, business use case or tasks that you're trying to get. And in such a situation, we can add to the small language model very important component, and Web3 component is basically community element. Because behind each small language model, we design in the mechanisms that there could be 10, 100, 1,000 people who constantly feed in it with some additional data sets and can get rewards for doing this job. Because this small language model, you can think about it as an app store app that with a community and a background who would be generating revenue by performing some specific tasks for different people or AI engines in the future. So that's kind of a gap that we're filling with Assisterr as well.
Awesome, thank you, Nick, for that. So you mentioned the ways that Assisterr is looking to fix the issues that are faced with AI currently. But what has Assisterr already executed, and what's in the pipeline?
Yeah, so we started with DevRel use case. So like right now we're switching to more broader infrastructure layer because we already have storage solve things, vector database store things, UI UX pipeline. So we established a lot of things specifically for DevRel, development relationship automation use case. And we start working with pretty big ecosystem. So we have live integration with Solana, with Near, with Optimism. Yeah. Right now we're integrating with Monad. We're going to be partnering. It's one of our strategic partner for this year, and a couple other ecosystems. So we start generating revenue. We start processing their community and supporting them with developer focus tasks. And over the next 3 months, I'll mention also another thing. So just from the progress side, so we already generating revenue. We won several hackathons. Latest one was at East Denver. We won nearest prize for the best AI agents.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and
Congratulations.
yeah, man, and we established really cool teams. Right now, we have several folks, AI/ML engineers with really amazing backgrounds. So we slowly growing our team. We keep building the product, and by the end of the year, we expect to scale all solution to infrastructure layer, when anyone can come and launch their own small language model specifically for their task or their ideas and so on. So we want to be app store, but for small language models with a community element.
Amazing. And I can see one of your partners that came across the screen just now, Lightlink. So funnily enough, we actually had the founder of Lightlink, Roy, on the show yesterday. Really good conversation. And to see that you're partnered with them, that fills me with even more confidence, because I know what the team are doing there as well. And you two combined, super powerful force. And also, I'd like to touch upon the University of Cambridge partnership. Can you give us a little bit more detail on how that came to come apart?
Yeah, so we were a part of Accelerate Cambridge program here in Cambridge, and I'm living actually in Cambridge as well. So they have an amazing community, scientific community, research community. So we are in some way pretty lucky to be in such great environment, let's say, and supportive environment here in UK. And after the Accelerate Cambridge, we also got to Outlier Ventures, which is the biggest Web3 accelerator in the world at this point of time. And they have really strong expertise into AI Web3 products, because they have Ocean Protocols, they have Fetch AI, they have a couple other guys who are in this space. So it's also a very supportive environment where you can come ask about advice, get some support on AI element, get support on a Web3 element. So right now we're designing our tokenomics. Right now we're designing our token incentives and model. And it's very important not to make mistakes and not to, just burn your token emission or just do some wrong things initially that will damage you in the long term. But yeah, so far it's really good. In both cases, we have a great community, great support, and expertise that is very rare on the market at these days.
Amazing. And I would just like to remind everyone listening in right now to hit the like button, drop a comment. If you have any questions for Nick as well, please shoot them into the comments, and we will go through a few of them towards the end. But let me just pull through the rest of the site here, Nick. Perhaps we can talk on some further bits down here. There isn't a native token, but here, stakeholders of the AI progress. Is there a way that people listening in right now who may be interested in Assisterr can get involved?
Yeah, for sure. So we just announced yesterday our ambassador program. So it's like the first phase of the ambassador program. We want to organize a very small, tiny community of people who already have some roots and understanding how everything works in Web3 space. So it's like the first call to action. Just go to our X, Twitter, find the post about the ambassador program, join, help us and contribute in the ways that is comfortable for you. Is it is a content? Is it is building the product? Is it is spreading the word about what we are doing? You will definitely find something for you, and we will not forget, let's say, this contribution from our side. Second part, you can just follow us on, because the amount of different activation over the next 2-3 weeks would be huge. We're going to launch 100 AI models for top Web3 ecosystems, and we would be calling people to test and play with these AI agents, with these AI models, try to break it, try to find bugs. So we would be it would be like 2.5 months test period. So everyone is welcome. You would definitely contribute hugely onto Assisterr vision if it resonates to you. And after that, we are preparing mainnet. So everyone who is excited about what we're building, I think you will also find a really good ways to interact with the community, with the ecosystem, to interact with our agents, with models, create your own models and agents. And I think it's very important for everyone to understand, if you would be the first people, or just imagine you are the first person who designed productivity app on App Store. I'm guarantee you that this person are multimillionaires right now, because like if you are the first person who is saying like, oh, we have a productivity app and there is like, you know, maybe one more app on the platform, these guys get the most from the platform. So we want to establish the same process. We want to give people by the end of the year infrastructure, and like whatever your background is, you know, like maybe you are in artist, maybe you in some creative background, maybe you designer, marketing guy, and so on. You can create your own small language model, put their knowledge or like some documents that you already have, and invite another 10, 20, 100 people to start feeding this model, train, and you can then provide some services to other participants of the network. So huge amount of opportunities. Definitely follow us, and I would love to see you in our community.
Awesome, guys. And make sure to go follow them on Twitter. We've got the app scrolling across the bottom just here, and the website link is in the description as well. I will pop that up quickly just up here as well. So yeah, check out Assisterr.ai, guys, as well. But Nick, have you got a busy week, busy couple of weeks ahead of you now? Are you heading to Dubai for the Hacker House?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Dubai actually all next week, 7 days, starting this Sunday. So I have 2 days for Solana Hacker House, because like our plan is to launch on Solana. Then we partnering with Layer Zero. They will help us, Layer Zero or one more team who can help us with that. Then we will burn some emission of the token on Solana and relaunch them on Monad. So we have like really strong exposure on both ecosystem, Solana based like community, and also EVM chains, because Monad, it's huge, guys. They just raised 225 million, they round, and they will help us to process all transaction, all rewards, store the data for EVM chains contributors on our platform. So it's like a lot of plans. I'm gonna be there all next week, expanding the amount of partnerships. Also, my goal is to close the round nearest 2 weeks. So right now we're in active process of fundraising. We already secured, like we have more commitments that we have space in this round, let's say. But still, I'm trying to get the strongest possible lead to ensure that on the next stage we would have, which I imagine gonna be sooner than later. So in May, June, I expect to have another seed round just before token generation event. So for me, it's important to establish all this relationship, to plan, to schedule, to get agreement over the next week in Dubai.
Amazing. Definitely a busy few weeks ahead for you. I know you go to a lot of the events. You mentioned you were just over in Denver. We met in Berlin, perhaps. So I know you're very active at events, and it's definitely one of the best ways within the community to really get your name out there and start impressing people with what you've been building. So I know that your calendar is going to be super busy for the rest of the year, but hopefully we can get you back on stream in a couple months as well. That would be super interesting to see the developments with Assisterr there. But guys, if you are wanting to check out Assisterr, like I said, check out the website, which is linked over there. I will just pull up the Twitter here as well. But if you have any last questions, guys, shoot them now. But Nick, thank you so much for joining today. Really a pleasure having you on the show, going through Assisterr. I look forward to seeing you again at the Hacker House as well. Are you entering any of the submissions at the Hacker House?
I think so. We just applied to Solana Coliseum hackathon, like global hackathon. Last time we were in top 7 projects. We didn't won the track, but we were among the top 7 projects, and we got like honorable mention from Solana. And right now we got additional grant from foundation. Right now we process in Solana, and like I'm gonna have this discussion. So I want to get them as our additional investor, not only grant supporters. So we have really good relationship with several ecosystem, including Solana, Monad, Layer Zero. Right now there is Zero Gravity Protocol, who also our strategic partner with GPU, CPU part of what we are doing. And like amazing times, man, like so many things happen over the last over the last year, and it was very complicated to start when the bear market was, like keep building, keep doing, keep working on what you believe in, especially when everyone is saying that like, oh, crypto is dead, like just go to normal world, like stop doing what you're doing and so on. So right now it feels really bad. I'm super excited to see people and meet people like you, like we had very like very like small events, like with 10, 20 people, and right now it's like 1,000 people in the space.
That's
like everyone comes back, so it's super cool, man.
Awesome, man. Nick, thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to having you back on the show. I look forward to seeing you in Dubai as well. Guys, if any of you are at Token 2049 or at the Hacker House next week, hit me up. I'll introduce you to Nick. It will be good to pick his brain in person because he's got a lot of ideas surrounding AI and Assisterr. So guys, all give a big thanks to Nick for joining today, and I will see you tomorrow. Let's go.
You guys.